Fuck, it didn't even count down. Gosh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Retro Corpses podcast. I'm your host, Dylan. With me always is your host, Jalen. What's up, Jalen?
What's up, dog?
And no Ken today. Ken had to do some shit with work, so we're missing him. He's not dead, promise. Um, so yeah, what's up, Jalen? How you been, bro?
I've been good, dog. Just been playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, me too. What's your favorite game mode so far?
I just play Team Deathmatch. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just play.
For do you
All
play,
I ever play is Team Deathmatch.
do you play Ground War at all?
No, it's like Battlefield.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
I'm gonna get into it at some point, but I feel like I want to have all my stuff where I want it to be before I even get in there, because it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to upgrade your stuff on like Team Deathmatch and shit.
Yeah, when I do like quick play, I'll just do either team deathmatch or domination. But I enjoy Ground War because I've been really wanting a Battlefield, but there hasn't been a good one in like 7 years.
Yeah,
So
in 7 years. The last one was fucking terrible.
yeah,
Last one was
and
so bad.
and the one before that was also bad. So there's just been so deprived of a good Battlefield game.
Deprived.
Oh, so yeah, anything else you've been playing lately, or just
Literally,
MW2?
that's literally it in terms of gaming.
Really, you haven't
Yeah.
watched anything else or played anything else?
No, I mean I've not really, dude. Not really. Just I've got that. You know me. When I buy a game, I'm gonna get my money's worth.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
Are
hit
you one of
max
those?
level.
Oh yeah, you're one of those people, bro.
Yeah,
I'm only like level 20, and I only play with level 55 people.
I'm
Like,
literally level 55. I got level 55 so fast though, and you can't fucking prestige
so you just stay at
until
55.
you just stay there until fucking because but at least how that game's progression is like they'd always have something to do. Like you can't unlock all the attachments for like one gun
Yeah,
just by using that gun.
yeah. I like how the attachment system works. Like, you got to use different guns to unlock different attachments.
It makes the
It's pretty
game
cool.
have more like replayability.
Yeah,
Because right now, if I hit 55, and in the old Call of Duty, this is when I stop playing. But I
bro,
still have a reason to play.
you're peaking hard as hell right now.
P P P P P P
There,
P P P P P P P. Right there,
should be good. Say peaking.
peaking.
All right, that's fine,
Okay, cool.
bro. When I
Looks
get
like
paid,
it's
I'm gonna
not
buy
picking
you.
me up now.
When I get paid, I'm gonna buy you one of these mics
Okay,
because you need one of these.
what's one of these?
Blue Yeti.
A Blue Yeti. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's like a fancy mic, I guess. I don't know. I just looked at a website that was like, oh, yeah, what's the best podcast mics? And it showed this one, and I was like, whatever, fucking, I'll get it.
Dumbass.
I have no knowledge of like audio equipment, so like, fuck it.
Fuck it. What do they say
gotta-
is best?
Yeah, I gotta ask Jaden some shit like that.
Yeah, he actually knows about shit like that.
Does he still do music and stuff?
I don't know.
He had to put
it's been a really long time since I've talked to Jaden on the phone.
he
Or
put
in
down the
general.
sampler and picked up the kids.
Basically, it's funny you say that, but that's literally true. He put down the sampler.
Remember when he got an Amazon credit card just to buy that fucking like $500 sampler and used it like 3 times?
Yeah. He was always buying stuff that was really expensive that he only used twice.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna record like bird sounds, man, and then make a beat out of them." Like, yeah, okay, you go ahead and do that, buddy.
Yeah, you do that, buddy. When he- I have so many funny stories about that guy.
Yeah, fucking hilarious. I miss him, bro.
I miss that dude a lot.
But he's happy, so fuck it. I've still been playing Deus Ex. I'm about 6 hours in now. That game is amazing, bro. You need to play that game as soon as possible.
I don't even know how I can play that game. Is it on Xbox?
I mean, you can just get it on PC.
I don't have a PC.
You have a laptop, right?
I'm sure it can't run that game.
Bro, it can run on a Nokia phone, bro. I'm telling you.
It can run on like is it the old one?
Yeah, it's made in
Playing like
2000.
the-
It's
you're
not
playing
like it's
the
crazy.
OG one.
Yeah, the OG one.
I'm thinking
Deus Ex
like
2000.
I'm thinking
There's
of the one
something
that's on
very
fucking Xbox.
There's something very charming about this game. Like, it was before FPSs got popular, right? So there was no like there was no aim down sights or anything, you know?
Oh, so it's like
And the
007?
yeah, kind of. Because that was like before the era of aim down sights, and you only had games like Half Life and Wolfenstein and shit like that. So the gun would only be like in front of you, and you couldn't aim down. You know?
You also had 007 GoldenEye. Damn, forget about that too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's around
Some
that
shit
same
like that.
time. That was my game.
When
I
did
love that
GoldenEye come
shit.
out?
I don't know. You'll have to Google that one. But it's old. I know that one's old.
It's old as fuck. Yeah.
It's old as fuck.
You
Walking
shoot, you
around with
shoot
that
with
gold Desert Eagle fucking everybody up.
It's so old. You shoot with like the A button. There's permanent invert controls on it.
You play on that old GameCube, the A button's ginormous.
Yeah, but not. It's really relevant to today. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause it touches on corporate espionage. There's secret societies like the Majestic 12 and shit. It's
Aren't you
about
like
government
robotic and
conspiracy.
shit?
What's up?
Are you robotic?
Yeah, so you're playing as JC Denton, and he's like a government experiment or whatever, and he's has like nanotech all in his body or whatever, and he's like a super soldier.
Interesting.
And you're playing as a super soldier, but he's like perfect with stealth.
So he's like a stealth model at that point then.
Yeah, basically.
Because I've seen like I don't know if it was a remake, but they made a Deus Ex. I forgot what the hell it was called. It was just Deus Ex, or what?
There was a
They put it on the
there was a
Xbox, and it was huge
yeah
when it came out.
yeah. I think it was Mankind Divided. It was a sequel that came out in like 2014, I think. I played that one before I played the original one, and it was way too fucking hard for me at that time, so I just put it down.
Mm.
And then I picked up this one like a year ago or something, and I've just been hooked on it ever since. But basically, the overarching story is like there's this government, right? The American government or whatever, and there's this group that you work for called UNATCO, which is the United Nations like anti-terrorist organization or something, and you're working for them. But as you play through the game, you realize like the terrorists you're taking down are actually like a coalition of resistance people, and they have information that the government made the vaccine, or they made the virus that is making everyone get sick in America, and they're also engineering the vaccine to sell people that shit. And you just uncover this giant conspiracy about it.
Hmm.
It's pretty crazy.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, especially in a time like this with like, COVID and shit.
It is definitely relevant today.
Yeah. Other
Probably
than that,
more relevant than when it came out.
yeah, no, that's crazy. It's like I was saying in our first episode. It's crazy how art can transcend time and just still be relevant over so many years. It reminds me of Kojima with like Metal Gear Solid and shit.
Yeah.
Jalen, today we're talking about Phantasm from 1979.
Phantasm.
Now this is Phantasmar. Now this is your pick.
Phantasmar? Yes, this
this
is my
is
pick. This is one of those horror movies, horror icons that I've just never had a chance to watch. And I just wanted an excuse to watch this movie.
yeah. I didn't even know it existed until you brought it up.
Seriously,
I'm gonna be
really?
honest.
He's
Yeah,
a
I didn't even
horror-
know this
he's
movie
a,
existed.
He's a horror icon. The tall man.
Yeah, bro, I didn't even know it existed. It's like I'd never known anything about the silver ball or the tall man or anything like that until you brought it up.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah. And then I was reading
What?
into it, and then I realized it was like a cult classic, and I was like, well, shit, I gotta watch this now.
Totally is. I don't know if we're gonna watch those sequels after this.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what the fuck
not
they're
not
about.
four of them.
I don't know what they're about. I really don't.
Not starring Reggie, the guy balding and with a ponytail at the same time.
He's balding with a ponytail. He had a really wild look and a really wild job. Like his whole character was really wild. He's playing
Like,
guitar and shit.
Like he just comes in and doesn't even no introduction or anything. Just
No,
starts
he just
playing
shows up,
guitar
starts playing
and just
guitar.
drives an ice cream truck.
And their song is really good for no reason. Like why
Yeah,
is their
yeah,
song
like, what the
so
fuck?
good? Why are they so talented?
Is there anything you want to say about this movie before we get into the synopsis?
The twist of this movie is so surprising.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those
so
twists that's
surprising.
well, I mean, I guess we could spoil it now. Is that it was all a dream, right?
Is that what you thought the twist was of this? Because look, the way I'm looking at it is that everything had to have actually happened because like there's four of them.
But the thing is that how would Reggie
So
still be
how would it
alive
be a
if all of
dream
it
then?
happened?
But if it's a dream, then how are there four? Is it
What do you
everybody
mean?
dreaming about the same dude? Because that'd be
Wait, what do
stupid.
you mean?
You get what I'm saying though?
No, elaborate.
There's four movies. There's four sequels to
Oh,
this
oh,
movie.
okay.
There's four
Well, we know
movies.
nothing.
So
We
like,
we know we
look,
know
I
nothing
know
about the.
nothing, but the fact that they managed to make a sequel off of this means that they had to have gone in the direction of that this is real.
Well, yeah, obviously it's real with the ending with him getting dragged by the zombies. I think that's where they kind of allude to wanting to make sequels with that.
And you know that ending was exactly the same as Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Like, that's the
Did
immediate thought I had.
did this come out first or Nightmare come out first?
I think this was first because I think
Really?
Nightmare is an '80s
79?
movie.
Yeah, this came out in '79, so it's kind
Yeah.
of a precursor to a lot of stuff.
It is, and it has to. I mean, a lot of movies had to have been inspired by this movie, and I just had no idea, just based on
Yeah.
when it came out. Because it gives me like lots of like different horror movie vibes. Like while I was watching it, it's very good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It looked cheaply made, but I mean, it was an independent movie. That's kind of the charm of it is how cheaply made it is, and how like I like how the movie just gets right into shit without giving you any explanation. Like
Yes.
the first scene of the movie is their brother Tommy getting killed by some girl, right? And then she turns into an
Yeah,
old
and then
man.
she turns into the old man, which is still like by the end of the movie, I still don't really know what the fuck they're doing with that.
I think that was just his disguise because I mean he's like an alien,
He
right?
can like, yeah, I guess he's an alien, and he can like shapeshift, and he
Or
also
he's
has
just some type of
telekinesis.
paranormal. At least in this movie, we don't really know what
I'm
he is now.
assuming he's an alien just because of like when they get into the whole like I'm not gonna say it now, but the whole twist of this movie is like
Yeah.
I mean you kind of I guess he's an alien at that point,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
only base that off of the twist, not anything that he really did himself to indicate that. You know what I mean? Because I thought the
yeah.
whole time he was definitely not human. I thought he was like a demon or something. That was the vibe I was getting at first.
I thought he just had some weird paranormal powers. I didn't
Really?
really know. I didn't really know what he was. I couldn't really. I thought it was just just horror schlock of him just doing whatever the plot needs him to do.
I thought like Warlock.
Yeah,
That was the thought I had. I thought this is like a Warlock movie. That's what I was thinking the
yeah,
whole time. Like, and he's just like a weird Warlock, and he does like weird like fucking like spells and shit. And that's like especially that kind of like really made me think that when he fucking like force pushed Homeboy off the fucking uh, goddamn motorcycle.
yeah, yeah. He can kind of do whatever he needs to do at the moment, I guess.
Yeah, because
So yeah, the movie.
like if we were gonna break down his abilities, he can shapeshift. He has telekinesis. And like what else? Like what? He can stop a motor vehicle from working, I guess,
He has
because
super
the
strength.
motorcycle stopped working when and I guess that it seemed to be purposeful that the motorcycle
Yeah,
stopped working.
he has super strength.
He has super strength because he lifted that fucking uh thing in there.
But I think that's kind of. I think his powers really go into the theme of the movie because, like, obviously the movie is very dreamlike and very surreal.
Yeah,
And the thing that I got from this movie the most is like all that shit that you see in the movie and the way the timeline is structured in the movie. It's almost dreamlike. Like with him picking up the casket by himself. Like tell me you wouldn't see some type of shit like that in your dreams.
I agree. And also like there's multiple times in the movie when he seems to pop in more as a dream.
Yeah, yeah. And with the
Like there's multiple times in the movie when they have a dream of him and then they wake up. And I almost feel like that's kind of like an indication of what they were originally going for with this movie because I don't think they intended to make four of these movies. I think it was originally the like you said where it's a dream. That was probably their
yeah.
original idea, but they shoehorned a bunch of extra shit in there because that's what the studio always does, so they can make
Well,
more.
I don't think they expected this movie to be as big as it was in the first place. The budget for it was only $300,000, so about as much as Halloween was made. It was written, directed, and produced all by the same person, and it was let me see, yeah, locally financed independent film.
Really?
Yeah, so there
Okay, well
wasn't
then I
even really like
disregard what I said.
yeah, there wasn't even really like a production studio.
Well,
God fucking, see what I'm saying?
you warned me.
Hold
That
on.
kind of scared me, low key.
Hey, shut up.
Meanwhile, while Dylan is getting the dog,
I'm back.
Jesus, are you gonna cut that out?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank God.
I heard you struggling, bro.
Holy fuck, I was struggling over here, dude.
Oh yeah, Dylan's
Fuck you.
But what the fuck were we talking about?
Oh, I was saying that the movie, like, there's constant parts where people like wake up from like him in a dream, literally. Like the part when he was like in a bed, and then he got eaten by the zombies, and he was really in a grave.
Yeah.
Like
That
there's
happens
he
to every one of
woke
them in the
up,
movie
like
too.
everybody had a moment like that.
Yeah, everyone except Reggie, I think. But
Except
I mean,
for
you
the
barely
ice
see
cream man,
Reggie, so
fucking ice cream
yeah,
man, who ended up being important at the end for no reason, for some reason.
yeah. Well, that's what I was saying about it being a dream. Is that, well, let's get into the synopsis first, and then we'll get to there.
Okay.
So it starts out with the brother of a man named Jody being murdered by the tall man. The brother that got killed, I think his name was Tommy, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't invite his 13-year-old brother Mike, because to protect him from being traumatized. But he sneaks in anyway and watches them.
Which is what he
Anything to
does
say about
the
that scene?
whole movie. He does that shit the whole movie. He's like following his brother around like a creep.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Like
It's
he's
pretty
kind of
weird how much he
he's kind
follows
of
him
a
around.
creep. Like he's kind of a creep, low key.
Yeah,
Like
like
super weird.
what was the point of following him around
It's
even
like
before
I think it was just because he thought that he was going to give him away. And I think he was super worried because you remember he was super worried about him talking. He had that conversation while he was under the car and he didn't know he was there. And he was talking about
Yeah.
how like I'm going to give him to his aunt or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to like
I
leave
think
or whatever. I think he was worried about that. He didn't really want that to happen.
I think he might have just had attachment issues from like his mom and his dad dying and all that. Because I mean,
Maybe
Jody's the only
that
family
is-
he has left at that point.
I was thinking like that's kind of what I thought too.
Yeah. So he sees the tall man at the funeral hosting the service, and that's when we get the first glimpse of him. Besides the intro when he kills Tommy. And yeah, this guy. From what I read, they actually gave the tall guy, the actor, a smaller suit than he was fitted for to make him look taller and creepier.
Really,
notice
that's
that?
cool. I did notice that.
Yeah, his suit is like one size too small for him, so he's like fucking walking around like he's got a wedgie the whole time.
I do have to say he killed it. Like
Tall man?
he sold it. Like the tall man, that guy was great. That actor they had,
Yeah.
he was fantastic. Like the way he was so creepy, the way he would fucking like even the way he would move around, he just didn't seem human. It always seemed like there was something fucking wrong with that dude.
Yeah, like the way he walks so stiff and just wouldn't
Stiff
make
and,
any
like-
expressions.
And he did kind of seem like he was trying to be normal. Like he was trying to act like the way everyone else is because he isn't like everyone else. That's the
Yeah,
vibe
like the
he
scene-
gave me.
Like the scene where he's walking down the street and he's just like walking really weird, and
And
then
he sees
the
that
ice cream
cold,
truck
the
opens.
ice cream truck cold, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, and he
He's
like
"Ooh, oh shit, ooh."
start. Yeah, he starts sniffing the air. Like what the fuck?
like a fucking weirdo.
Obviously something wrong with this guy.
What is wrong with that guy? And even the way he was walking down the fucking street was kind of funny.
Yeah. Like that's what I was saying. Like just the way he walks, he doesn't look. He looks like a skinwalker, bro. Like he's trying to be human. It's like
Trying so,
he's,
you know that old
he
Game Grumps
captures-
thing, where he's like, they're like, he's like, almost like we're trying to. He's like, I am human. Watch me do human things. Let me drink
Like-
this human water and go to my human house.
he captures the uncanny valley perfectly. So that was really cool. And the thing I like about him is like I guess he's in the pantheon of iconic slashers, but he's just like a normal old guy.
Yeah,
You know?
he doesn't even have a name. He's just tall man.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy that.
I do too.
so-
He's the most regular looking slasher. Thing.
Slasher, yeah.
Like slasher
I mean,
horror icon.
again, we haven't seen the newer movies, but I mean, is he even considered a slasher?
I
Because
don't
he,
even. I wouldn't consider this movie a slasher. It doesn't have a lot of kills. It's not really about kills.
yeah, besides like
I even
Tommy and
wrote that
like,
on my notes. It's like it's not really about the kills in this
yeah, besides
movie.
like Tommy and the groundskeeper, you don't really see any on-screen deaths.
No, and that's it. And honestly, the best kill of the movie was with the ball.
Yeah, yeah, the groundskeeper guy.
Yeah, that was cool. I
Yeah, that
wish
was
we
pretty
had
cool.
more of that, and I'm sure they probably do more of that in the sequels. I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
I'm sure it probably turns more into a slasher down the line.
probably yeah, on some Hellraiser shit, just
Yeah, exactly.
pumping
On
them
some
out,
like just pumping them out like fucking just pumping them out like crazy. Don't even make
shitting
sense.
them out
Just
for
screw
money.
it. Just put a Hellraiser in it. We got this bank heist
So
movie. Fuck it. Let's put Hellraiser in it.
so we see Mike and Mike sees him pick up the entire casket by himself and put it in the trunk. And that's when we start to realize that something weird is going on.
Definitely, that's your first indication that there's something up. I love his first line, by the way. We kind of could bash that a little bit when he put his hand on Homeboy's shoulder. The funeral's ready,
Oh
sir.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part
That's
where
his
he's
only
looking around
line
the
in the
funeral
movie.
home.
Yeah, that was his like only. Isn't that the only thing he says? Just about.
Uh, well,
And then like
he
at
talks
the
to
end, he
Mike like later
talks
down the
to Mike
movie,
down like later, like at the end, like almost.
and he says
the
like
end.
"boy" every
Yeah,
now and then, like
come
fucking
here,
Kratos.
boy. Some shit.
Let me see where are we at. So yeah, Mike is overly attached to Jody. He always follows him around, and we get introduced to Reggie like a day later. And he just pulls up with his guitar and starts playing this badass song with him.
Yeah, it was like really good. I was like, whoa, hold up.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, holy shit, this is really good.
This is actually a really good song.
And that's what I want to get into with this is that the music in this movie is really good.
Really good. I actually wrote down the name of the people who did the music.
Who did him?
Hold up, let me find that note.
Fred Myro, I think is one. Yeah, I see him right
There
here.
is Fred Myro, and then there's another one too. There's two names. There's two people who did the music for this movie.
Fred Myro and Malcolm Seagrave.
Malcolm Seagrave.
Yeah, this movie's it has very good music. It reminds me of Savage Planet, that French film. Have you seen that movie?
I have not seen that.
The one with the blue people. It reminds me a lot of that, where it has like these really like grungy guitar sounds, and like the live drum music. Yeah, live drums. You know.
The music in this movie was just like it always fit every setting. It was really it added to the mystery of this movie.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it didn't it I would say what's really good about this movie is it didn't bust its load right off the bat. It
Yeah.
let it simmer for like the longest, and it was it was cool. That's what made the twist so crazy is that it just didn't like beat you over the head with what it was trying to ultimately tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just gives you little bits and pieces, and then towards the end, you start to get the entire guitar strums, and then the drums, and then you get the bells in it, and it contrasts really well with like the dreamy like feeling of the entire movie. I thought it was really. I'm gonna add this to my freaking playlist. The music in this movie.
Yeah, for real. The music
think
in
it's
this
really
movie is
good.
fantastic.
This movie, this is gonna sound weird, but this movie like it feels like an Italian horror movie. Did you get that vibe too?
I'm gonna have to watch more Italian horror movies to be able to say that. I've seen some, but I haven't. Not enough to be able to make that like assumption.
Because I don't know, there's something very uniquely 70s, specifically 70s Italian horror about this movie. Where, like I said, they barely give you any exposition. They just shove you into the action and let you figure shit out by yourself. Like they don't even let you know that they're brothers, or you barely even know what their names are until like 30 minutes in. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And they kind of just. And then they kind of just dump you with information at the very start and let you run with that information.
I did think the whole like mystical old lady was a little weird.
Yeah, I didn't even put that in my notes because I didn't think it was worth anything, and then it ended up
Like
not being worth
just
anything in the end.
it was very weird. And I only reason why I say something about that is because that is where he found like the picture of the tall man, like from forever
In
ago. implying
in her
that he's
like
been
shop.
around for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. If
So
they would
like
have just introduced Sally and not shown the grandmother thing, I think it would have went over a lot better.
I think so
Cause
too.
and they don't do anything with her either. That's the thing.
No, and she just laughs too. Like, why did she laugh?
Yeah, yeah.
They
In
didn't
her
do anything
dialogue,
with
like
that. It was just weird.
her dialogue alludes to something that happens later in the movie, and then none of it happens. So it's like,
And I think
what the hell?
that's what made me think like he's a wizard, he's a warlock or something. Because they have this mystical old lady, and I'm like, okay, so he's like the whole time I'm thinking like, what is he? Is what I'm thinking
Yeah,
this whole movie. I'm trying to figure out what is he. And like
yeah,
after seeing the old lady, I'm like, okay, so they're gonna try to tie this together. I mean, like he's probably magical because the bitch seemed to be magical, and I bet
yeah.
it didn't seem to be that way. It was kind of weird. I thought that was
You know,
kind of weird.
now that I think about it, I think that scene in particular is like, because I've been talking about how the movie seems like so dreamlike and how everything feels like a dream. I think that scene is just like showing the idiosyncrasy of a dream, where like, oh, it just happens randomly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It happens randomly. It weirds Mike the fuck out, and he just gets out of there, you know?
And what do you have to say about the acting in this movie? Because I thought the acting in this movie was very good.
I thought Mike and Jody's performances were really good. Um, Reggie was all right. I mean, he was kind of just like the
Reggie
comic
was barely
relief.
there, so I wasn't really. When I think about the acting of this movie, I mainly think about the kid and the brother. They both
Yeah.
killed
No,
it in this movie.
yeah, I thought they were pretty good. I like Jody especially. I thought he was really cool. I thought he was going to be the main character, but he turned out not to be.
No, it ended up being the kid.
Yeah.
The movie was around that kid the most. Little stalker weirdo.
Like they kind of make it seem like, Mike is going to be the weird one in the situation and that Jody was going to be the main character having to deal with him. And then they kind of flip it on his head where it's like, okay, Mike is the guy that, has to deal with this tall man.
Yeah, and then he's just more like sidelined.
Yeah. And then it turns out he was dead the whole time.
Twist.
So yeah, fast forward to like later that night, Mike follows Jody to a bar. Jody goes to a bar, meets a lady, and they try to fuck in a cemetery, the same cemetery that they buried their brother in, like
Yeah,
3 days
was
ago.
so fucking weird.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty weird. And
Even
Mike
he
is
was
following
like,
them the
"Why
whole
are
time.
we?" He was even like, "Why are we going in here?" Like, she's like, "It's spooky. It's inciting." Like,
Ugh,
fuck,
spooky and hot.
it's hot.
And Jody's like, all right, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, and then did you notice Mike just like staring the whole time?
Yeah, when he took
thought
her
that was really
tits out,
weird.
and he was like, "Wow!" And then it cuts to Mike. Wow, it was so stupid. I was so stupid. I was like, "Really?"
Like, is this normal just watching your brother fuck? Like, I thought that was very weird.
That was a very strange scene. I don't know. And then he gets like, and then Mike's in the woods and gets like jumped by a midget wearing a fucking cloak.
Yeah, he gets jumped by a fucking Jawa.
Jawa.
Those
jumped by
dude,
a Jawa.
these goblins or whatever, these little
Whatever the
zombie
fuck.
goblins, they're ripped directly from Jawas. I'm
Dude,
convinced.
they so
They look
are.
the exact
like
same.
Fucking Jawas. And then he just starts. I love how he's trying to mess with this girl, and then here comes his brother that he doesn't even know is there.
Just screaming. And and then fucking Jody's got her panties in his fucking mouth. Oh, I think
Yeah,
that's my
like,
brother. I'll be right
I think
back.
it's my brother. I'll be right back. You just wait here.
And he says like a whole 3 lines with the panties still in his mouth. Like, dude, take
You
him out.
notice
What the
when
fuck?
He like ran away. I know that was the tall man, obviously. But like,
Was that him?
yeah, that was the tall man. Because remember later in the movie when he was when that lady showed back up and she had that knife, she was the tree.
Mm.
You remember
Yeah, I
that?
didn't even realize it was her.
That was her, and that was the same chick at the beginning of the movie that was like killing him at the beginning, and then it showed the tall man's face.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
I'm
knew
only
the
to
tall man.
Assume that was the tall man.
I know the tall man turned into some blonde chick, but I didn't realize that was her. So yeah, Jody just dodged a bullet with that one.
Definitely. I mean, the kid kind of saved his life a little bit. It does kind of make sense that the minions would be lurking.
Yeah, kind of just unknowingly saved his life.
Yeah, definitely unknowingly saved his life, being a creep.
Or Mike sees that black figure. They run away. Jody's like, "Go home, bro. What the fuck are you doing?" And so Jody goes back to that girl, and then the girl disappears because it was the tall man the whole time.
Scary.
Oh,
It was
so
the
scary.
tall man. Tall man can turn into women that are shorter.
That is so scary.
It's scary, and they have a
No,
fancy dagger.
seriously though, I don't think any scene in this movie actually scared me. What about
Oh,
you?
not really. I mean, come on. It's a movie from this. I mean, were you really expecting a movie from the 1970, 79?
I mean, yeah, but yeah, but like Exorcist is still pretty terrifying even today.
That movie's in a league of its own, though.
Yeah.
There's not a lot
I
of
don't know,
movies, even to this day, that touch that movie.
Yeah. It did a lot of things right, but it didn't really scare me that much. But yeah, it could just be that I'm so desensitized to stuff now.
You're also jaded.
50 years later.
You've seen a lot of horror movies, dog. You're jaded. And you've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
a
that's
lot
what
of
I'm saying.
movies that are inspired by this movie, and I didn't even realize it, but they are. So there's a lot of elements of this movie I was familiar with, even though I had never seen this movie.
The movie does it does atmosphere very well.
Very well.
Like
The
it
setting,
it just creates a very weird.
like the
What's
house.
up?
We didn't mention how cool the fucking house is that they're always going in and out of.
The funeral home.
The funeral home that looks like a mansion.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like a white mansion.
I guess
it's beautiful.
I guess it holds all the caskets too, which is weird. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that before either, but this is not a normal situation.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
It's pretty though. It's like marble. I really love the overall setting of this movie, and a lot of this movie takes place inside of that house.
Yeah, they keep going back and forth.
They
Actually,
go back
we're
and
gonna
forth.
get to where the first time he breaks in. So speaking of that funeral home, Mike breaks in there. He gets caught by the groundskeeper, that weird looking guy. Was that guy like one of his minions, or was he just like a groundskeeper?
I see what I'm thinking. Right, is that he was one of his minions, but he hadn't shrunk them yet.
I thought he only collects dead people though.
Yeah, he collects dead people and then he shrinks them, and then that's why they're like tiny midgets.
Yeah, but the groundskeeper wasn't dead though.
Maybe he killed him though off screen because he looked dead to me.
Did he have like all that shit on his face?
He looked like he had like green on his like body. Like he didn't look alive to me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Have you
I'd
seen
have
that
to
movie?
Go back and watch it, but he didn't seem like he was. There was something wrong with him, obviously.
Have you seen that movie Anthropophagus or whatever? That cannibal movie?
Excuse me, what?
Okay, no, never mind. The groundskeeper looks just like here, I'll show you. I don't even remember. I don't even know how to spell it, bro.
I don't know how you spell that. It's just crazy.
I think it's this.
That's a crazy name. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Imagine if
This
that was
is
your
what
name.
this is who the groundskeeper looks like.
He does. What the fuck? Well, look at that guy, dude.
We gotta watch this movie at some point
five-head
too.
looking ass.
This movie sucks, but it's pretty charming. It's about these people that go to an island, and this guy's a cannibal living in like the main mansion or whatever.
He's just eating people.
Yeah, he's just eating people.
He looks like a nice guy.
Yeah, it looks like a stand-up guy.
The stand-up guy, just eating people, hanging out.
Yeah, working at the post
just hang out.
office.
Just hang out.
Look at those sweet effects right there.
Oh God, it looks paper mache, dog. It looks like a paper mache head in a fucking water bucket.
But anyway, let me see. Yeah, Mike breaks free from the groundskeeper, and that flying fushigi ball fucking drills into his head.
That thing is so cool.
Yeah, doesn't it look like a
flying
fushigi ball?
It does. It also kind of reminds me of those, those balls that you spin around, the Asian balls you spin around. They make that bell noise.
Which ones?
I don't know what they're called. They're like I think they're called Chinese wishing balls or some shit. You like spin them around in your hand, and they make these bell noises.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know. As soon as I saw that, I got instantly reminded of that you know what a fushigi ball is?
No.
Where
What's a fushigi ball?
Remember those commercials back in the day where it's like, oh, the magic ball. Oh,
God.
play
yeah,
with
I
it.
do. And it was supposed to be a hobby. You do
Oh,
tricks with
the
it or
ball
some
can
shit.
float.
It
Yeah,
can
and then
float.
Yeah,
Hoosiki
and then
ball.
and then kids got it, and then they realized it was just a fucking metal ball with
It was
glass
just a
around it.
metal ball, and you just do tricks.
Yeah, and then they threw it and just broke shit.
They realize it's just a metal ball covered in glass. That's
Dude,
all
bro,
it fucking is.
that guy sold millions of kids just a metal ball and just dipped. Just
Ball
got
with
rich
some
off of it.
glass and dipped. It's not any
Oh,
different than like the fucking the sham wow.
it looks like it's floating in your hand.
What's the other one? What's the fucking? There was the moon sand. The moon sand commercials. They used to fucking everywhere with those fucking things. It's
Yeah,
just like
which
a
is
mess.
It's just Play-Doh, but just like
Just
grainy.
grainy Play-Doh. You can eat it and it won't kill you. In the commercial,
Yeah, but don't eat it though. I'm just saying, if you did eat it, it won't kill you.
it won't kill you. That doesn't mean eat it though. Just make sandcastles and shit.
I think that's why like our generation is so stupid, bro. We just grew up with shit like that.
We grew up with moon sand and fucking fushigi balls.
We grew up with metal balls and edible sand.
Or how about a Beyblade?
Hey,
Let
those
it
were cool.
rip.
Fuck up. Those
The
were cool.
spinny top with blades on it. Yeah. Dreidel with blades.
Let it rip.
Let it rip. There's also a card game. Don't know how the card game works, but there's a card game with it.
It wasn't a dreidel because it's got cool arms and stuff on the side.
Yeah. Beyblade.
All right.
That's
so
Bakugan.
yeah,
Are you thinking of Bakugan?
yeah. Wait, then what is Beyblade?
Beyblade was literally... Bro, look up Beyblade and put it on the screen so people know what we're talking about. Beyblade is like they're like these spinny tops with blades on them. It was bro, you never heard of Beyblade? It was a whole thing.
I'm sure. Oh yeah.
Bro, Beyblade, come on, man. You got the
Bro,
Beyblade Arena.
those aren't those in Bakugan like the same thing?
No, but they basically are.
Oh wait, no. Bakugan is the one that is in the
Bakugan
balls
had,
and
like,
you throw
put the
them.
balls and you throw them and they hit the
Yeah,
magnet
yeah.
and they go and they pop open and shit.
Yeah, these are all meshing inside my mind.
Cause it's like what Rolly Ball, fucking. It had a whole show with it too. Beyblade, bro, it had a show.
Beyblade still got
It's fucking
video games
dreidels.
coming out.
It's dreidels, bro.
Hey,
You
'cause
can't
it's Japanese, so they're
convince me
cool.
otherwise that it's not a dreidel with blades on it. Because that's exactly
they're
what
Japanese.
the fuck it is. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a Japanese dreidel with blades on it.
Yeah, not no Jew dreidels.
Let's
right?
put an anime with it too.
So Mike gets chased by the tall man. The tall man chases him into a closet, and then he slams his fingers inside the closet door. And Mike cuts his fingers off, and his fingers are yellow.
Oh shit! And he makes a fucking crazy noise too when he gets his fingers cut off. It sounds crazy.
What does he make? I forgot.
It's like
That's
some
when you
shit
realize
like
that.
that.
That's when you realize that the fucking tall man is like an alien or something.
Or something.
Because
I think he's
just
definitely
squirting
not.
out,
He's definitely a something.
squirting out this yellow blood. You know what that
He
reminds me of?
What?
Halloween 3. Whenever they kill someone and they squirt out the green blood.
Is that what? You know what it reminded me of? The noise he made reminded me of the Thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That gave me Thing vibes for sure. Like just the noise he made.
It's crazy shit. But yeah, I can see how this movie influenced a lot of movies
Definitely.
because it's just little stuff like that, like not overarching story, but just little stuff like that, like blood not being red and shit.
Oh, the overall, just the mystery of it, like not popping your load so quickly too. I feel like that's probably one of the
Yeah.
first horror movies, at least in this time period. Most horror movies kind of got to the point quicker. I feel like, and this movie didn't, and it made it better
Yeah.
in my eyes.
It's weird 'cause it's a slow burn movie, even though it's only like an hour and 29 minutes. Like it's very fast, but very slow burn at the same time.
Definitely, and I feel like that benefits well. Like it definitely lends itself well in this movie.
Yeah. It keeps you just interested enough to where you don't fall asleep. But then the very end, like the last 15 minutes, is like crazy.
Yeah, the last 15 minutes of this movie is wild as hell.
Yeah.
It definitely
Mike
pops
gets-
its load.
So after Mike, he picks up one of his fingers, and Mike gets chased by some Jawas, just barely escapes.
Some more Jawas. This movie
Yeah,
has
some
more
more
Jawas than the Tall Man.
What's up?
Said this movie has more Jawas than the Tall Man.
Well, they're his minions. I mean, what do you expect?
Still, though, I feel like the movie should have had more Tall Man. I wanted
I
more
wasn't
Tall
really,
Man personally.
I
I
wasn't
thought
really
he
a
was
fan of the Jawas. I think they look kind of goofy to me.
me too. They feel like they should go when they're running around. That's the noise they should fucking make. They look funny to me.
Yeah, I know it probably wouldn't have been any better, but if they had their hoods off and then shown like the dead people's faces, I think that would
Maybe
have
if
looked
they
pretty
were
cool.
tall, maybe, and not
Yeah,
midgets.
yeah, maybe if they're
Maybe if they
normal
weren't
size.
midgets. Like, I can't take these little midgets in cloaks seriously. Come on. They look like fucking Jawas. I mean, like, that's why they look like little Jawas running
Yeah,
around
it's
and
just
shit.
it's goofball shit.
It's going to take off the mask. It's going to be fucking literally a minion from Despicable Me under there. That's what it looks
Banana.
like. A banana.
Yeah, that's why his fingers were yellow. They're all just minions.
You're all just minions.
The tall man's actually grew.
Tall man's grew the whole time. What the fuck? And then he's been secretly stealing the bodies so he can have the money that he can sell from their clothes.
To steal the moon.
To steal the moon. So he can get money so he can steal the moon.
So Mike goes back with the tall man's finger and shows Jody the finger, and he's like, "All right, well, we're gonna go to the sheriff with this." And I don't know about you, but going to the sheriff with a cut off finger doesn't seem like the best idea to me.
Me either, but I also liked how they made like they didn't fucking make his brother wait forever to understand what was going on in this movie.
Yeah,
They let him kind of like get into what's going on quicker, and I like that a lot.
yeah. I completely skipped over when he got the car crushed on him. I didn't even get into that when Mike was working on Jody's car.
Oh
And
yeah,
then and then one of the minions was in
One
the
of
house and then
the
crushed him with
minions
the car.
when they were like
Yeah,
knocked
yeah,
the car down and shit.
yeah. Which
They were
that's my
in
worst
here.
fear, bro.
He was like, they were in here. They were in here.
You're crazy, Mike. You're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy, Meg. I like how his brother's just sitting on the stairs with a shotgun, and he just casually walks up to the shotgun and like unloads it instead of being like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. I think he knew he was paranoid though.
For sure, but
And I
like
mean, Mike-
still,
I mean, Mike is pretty resourceful. I mean, he looks like he can be trusted with a shotgun, kind of.
bro. What if we live together, right? And I'm like, you come home, and I'm fucking sitting on the stairs asleep with a finger, like a box that's moving in it, and a fucking shotgun loaded. Are you just gonna casually walk up to me without saying anything and unload my shotgun and sit down and be like, "What's going on, buddy?"
No.
No.
But then,
It's
then
not
again,
a
that
normal
leads into
reaction to that.
that
shit's
leads to the
hilarious.
dream. That leads to the dreamlike nature of the movie.
I
It all, like,
guess you
not
can
making
always
any sense.
You can always say that about anything.
Bro, because think about every interaction in this movie, bro. It almost feels like NPC dialogue, you know?
What, you don't think it's normal for two people to just be casually playing guitar with each other like that?
Yeah, bro, exactly. Like this, he's in his like he's working, right? Like he's selling ice cream, and he just pulls out a guitar and just starts playing a badass song.
A sick ass beat.
like it just it lends itself to like not having a chronological timeline and just shit just happening, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so where are we at right now? So yeah, he tries to show him the finger again, and it turns into a giant death fly, and it starts
Yeah,
chasing him around.
Fuck was that all about?
And the scene of them catching it in the jacket and them just waving their arms around with it, that's pretty funny.
So fucking funny. Like, there's clearly nothing in there. And they have the fucking
Yeah.
noises of the sound of the bug.
Yeah, they're banging their arms into the walls, just like
Oh, this shit was so
like
funny.
they're clearly just moving their arms around.
This shit was so fun. There's nothing in there. It's so fucking funny. And then they try to put it in the garbage disposal, and it just fucking comes
Yeah,
out
they wouldn't-
again.
They wouldn't just like grab a hammer or something.
Oh God!
They gotta like put it in the garbage
they gotta
disposal,
put it in the garbage
and then it doesn't
disposal.
work the first time,
So they stab it and turn on the garbage disposal.
and destroy his jacket.
They did the most to kill it.
Yeah, and they had like an entire shotgun in their house.
They had so many
They coulda
weapons
just, like-
in their house. He was always had a pistol or a shotgun.
And they chose like the hardest thing to get it in, which is a garbage disposal. Whatever. It's a movie.
It is a movie.
All right, so yeah, they start loading up. Uh, Jody pulls out a 1911. Mike's got the shotgun. Dude, that 1911 looks so sexy.
Yeah, it fucking did. The guns in this movie
That
were cool.
Yeah, that chrome 1911. I want some shit like that. That looks so cool.
Fucking Mike was good with it too.
What? No, Jody had it, not Mike.
Isn't that the same gun he had later in the car?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yup. Get your
Yeah.
movie right, dog.
So Mike is guarding the house, and Jody goes up to the cemetery. Jody gets attacked by the Jawa and escapes, and the hearse follows him. That scary ass hearse.
That hearse is badass.
Yeah. Why is it so fast, bro? Can't a hearse
Don't
only
know.
go like
It's
40
like
miles
a
an hour?
supercharged hearse, bro. It's a supercharged hearse with NOS.
Can keep up with that freaking super tuned up muscle
What,
car.
You didn't see that? You didn't see that hearse in fucking Fast and the Furious, bro? Racing with Toretto?
No, I didn't.
It's super hearse.
So what's it called? Yeah, he's pointing his shotgun at the hearse. Oh, there's nobody driving it.
There's nobody
Driving it the whole time. And Mike pulls up with the muscle car, and he almost shoots Mike. You see that?
Yeah. That like scene where like it's like who's in the muscle car, but it's like we knew it was fucking.
Yeah.
I kind of had a feeling
why
who
didn't-
it was.
He was aiming at him for like a minute. Why didn't he just say like, "Hey, Jody, get in"?
You know, he just like let that. Honestly, he was being creepy. The
He was
way
just
he was
letting him
driving with the car.
You just letting him point a shotgun in his face and he's just sitting there. So then they start getting chased. The hearse is still following him. Mike's like, "Oh, there's no one in the hearse." They both had to get out that sentence.
They both had to get out of that.
And then yeah, you're right. Mike starts shooting him with the 1911, the hearse, and the hearse swerves off the road and fucking explodes somehow.
Yeah. Somehow.
And so they pull up to it, and they look inside, right? And it's a Jawa driving. That's why there was nobody driving. It's a midget.
What the fuck? And he's stabbed and he's still moving. He's like, he's still dangling and she's still jiggling around in there.
And they pull down the hood, and what do you know? It was Tommy the whole time.
Oh shit! The Jawas are midget versions of their friends.
Oh my god!
Oh shit!
And then they instantly figure out everything.
Immediately, somehow.
And he's got yellow blood too, which I don't see how they get their blood changed.
Me either.
I mean, they're
You
still
just have
human.
It's a dream, just like you said. It's a dream.
Don't you know all midgets' blood is yellow? It's a medical fact.
What? No, it's not. What are you talking about?
What? Well, all midget blood is yellow?
All midget blood is yellow? What are you talking about? All
Yeah,
midget
Riz.
blood is orange. Everyone knows that? Come on, man. What are we talking about? You see this guy over here talking about midget blood yellow? Come on, man. It's orange. It's always been orange. What have
Fuck
Oompa
you.
Loompas taught us? That it's orange.
Those don't count. This is a different universe, buddy. All right. Anyway, Reggie pulls up for some reason, and they load up Tommy into Reggie's ice cream truck. And Reggie's like, "This guy's not gonna bleed all over my ice cream, is he?"
Yeah, it was his only concern. He's not going to get out
And
and
not that he-
my ice cream.
Not that he's like carrying a dead body or anything.
Or not that
of
he's
his, like,
putting
friend.
a body in his fucking car.
Yeah, it's not gonna leak up my ice cream, is it?
He's going to put yellow blood all over my ice cream, right?
And then Jody's like, "All right, Michael, you got to go to the antique shop or whatever with the old lady from earlier." And so he goes there, and he finds a picture of the tall man from like the 1800s on a carriage, and the picture looks at him.
And the picture
Spooky.
moves. The picture's like a movie.
Yeah, it's a
slowly
iMessage live
zooms in
photo.
on him. It's like it's literally like a fucking one of those like moving picture frames. It's one of those.
And he just looks at him. Let me see. So yeah, Mike is like, "Nah, you got to take me home, bro. I gotta go defeat this tall man with my brother, right?" So They rush home, and when they're rushing home, they find Reggie's truck is flipped over. And what do you know? There's no Tommy inside. How do you
There's
know he
no
escaped?
Tommy.
Because there's yellow blood everywhere.
Yellow blood
And,
handprint.
and there's also no Reggie. Let me see.
And then they immediately start getting jumped by Jawas themselves.
Yeah.
Oh
Well, they
shit,
start getting
Jawa
jumped.
massacre.
They start getting jumped by Jawas in
They
Sally's
just
car.
throw Mike out the fucking car.
Yeah, and then they just
They
drive to
GTA'd the
nowhere.
car. They literally GTA'd the car, drove to nowhere.
Yeah, Sally and them are still in there. And Mike is like, I'm out of here.
Mike
Which
got
once
yeeted
again,
out of the back of the car.
that's a dream thing. You know what? You know in the last the last 30 minutes of American Psycho, how nothing makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of how this
That's
movie
like this.
is.
Yeah, it's like this entire movie. Like once you start thinking about shit, it's like, wait, this doesn't make any sense.
Definitely.
Like you're having to suspend belief pretty hard, but like on purpose.
And I think that kind of happens right after the tall man gets his fingers cut off. That's when everything starts to get really weird.
Yeah, I mean it was weird. I mean I think it was weird from the start because like one of the things I noticed is like when scenes are happening, but there's voiceover from the last scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed they do that a lot, and that kind of ties into things being a dream because like with the shots fading out into other shots, and then the voiceover still
The
happening.
constant shots of people waking up from a dream of them just being
Yeah,
like,
like
boom.
it's
And it's like super
yeah,
dramatic the way they wake up every time. Like they really want to
yeah,
show you them waking up from something.
yeah. There's a lot of themes of dreaming and non-linearity, which I like. I think that's why there's so many like just so many suspension disbelief scenes, like with him jumping out the car and them just going nowhere.
And the fact
And
they
how
even kicked him out of the car, period, and didn't just kill him
yeah,
or take him or
and
whatever
how
the
really
fuck they were
like
going to do.
and how this 13-year-old kid can just survive so long in the first place.
True. Even his brother survives for like situations that don't really make sense too.
Yeah, like him getting attacked by all those Jawas.
Or I love how he went in there and he only got to the basement and then fucking like immediately left.
Yeah, he's like, oh fuck this.
Got one fucking midget. There's midgets in here. I'm out. I'm out.
Oh,
Fucking
oh,
midgets.
there's midgets. Oh, this is too much.
I'm out. Midgets. Can't do midgets and cloaks. Can't do it. Too much
Aliens,
like Star
I'll
Wars.
fight aliens. Midgets, no, can't do them.
Can't do it.
So Mike runs home. Jody's like, stay in your fucking room, bro. You're gonna die. And so he locks him in his room with the screwdriver, which I don't know. Would that even work in real life?
I don't think so. What the whole fucking tie a fucking bomb like a fucking
No, I mean the thing
bullet
with
to a
the
fucking
screwdriver where he puts the screwdriver in between the door and then somehow the door is locked in.
I don't think so. I don't think that would work. That only works in a movie.
Yeah, and then
It's
the
like
thing you're talking
equivalent to
about,
like the chair up against the door. That's kind of like the same shit.
yeah.
That doesn't work either though.
And so Mike ties a 12 gauge shell to a hammer.
Yeah,
And
which
then
is some MacGyver ass shit.
Yeah, and then puts a tack on it and fucking blows up part of the door.
Which is crazy. He blows a perfect
Yeah.
circle that his hand could fit in.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I don't know. I bet that was on like a episode of MythBusters or something.
That was crazy as fuck. I was like, that would not work. I was thinking like that wouldn't work.
Oh, let's see what would happen if you put a tack at a 12 gauge and then threw it at something.
Fuck it.
Plot twist: nothing happens. It's not real.
Plot twist.
That can't happen.
I'm still in the room because it didn't work.
And so he runs out of his house because he's escaped, and the tall man is right in front of his house, right?
I thought he was inside the house. He
Yeah,
the
like,
door
as soon
opened
as-
up and it got all dark and shit in the room, and he was like, "I'm here for you."
Yeah. As soon as he opens the door, the tall man's right there, and that's like
Oh yeah, and he like
that's like one of the 5 lines that the tall man actually has. I found you, boy,
I found you, boy.
and then throws him into his hearse and starts driving like 90 miles an hour in the hearse. But somehow Mike escapes again.
He
Just
shot
by
that
shooting the
gun.
window
he
out.
had that gun. He shot that fucking. He shot the tire, didn't he? From
Yeah,
the
he
inside
shot
of the car.
like he shot the tire and then he shot the window and busted out. And the hearse
Okay.
blows up again.
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
know
the
how he
second
got the
time it's
hearse
blown
back. I
up.
was like, I didn't even think about that, but how did fucking hearse get back?
It's a dream, bro. It's all a dream.
It's a dream, bro. I mean, I
Like
guess
that.
it's like
Like that.
already an abnormal hearse.
Like that Nelly song. It's only a dream, you
God damn it.
know. So everyone, they're all in the funeral home now. Jody's in there wandering around, and they find their mom's casket, and they open it up, and oh, there's nobody in there. And Mike gets freaked the fuck out because of that.
He tries to tell him,
And
but
then
he doesn't end up saying it though. He's like the casket.
what?
Never mind.
Oh, oh, when he meets up with Jody.
Yeah, we meets up with Jody. He doesn't even tell him. He was just like, Jody, the casket. Never mind.
and then
so fucking
and then
stupid.
fucking Reggie pops in out of nowhere. Hey guys, I just escaped.
Hey, I escaped.
Oh, they
Where
locked
was
me
I?
in a casket. Where was I the whole time?
Why'd they put me in a casket and not just kill me like everyone else?
No, he was hiding in a casket.
But how?
What do you mean how?
He got his car flipped over and he just ran to the fucking place and hid in a casket? That shit's
Yeah, it doesn't
goofy
make any
as
sense,
fuck.
bro.
That shit's so goofy. How was he even there?
It's all a dream, bro.
When he walked up, I was like, "Are you for real?"
I'm glad he was there though, because I mean Reggie's like the coolest guy in the movie.
Oh, really? He's your favorite character,
Bald,
Reggie?
yeah, balding ponytail man.
Balding ponytail man.
So they go to that closet that has all the bus on top of it, and they open it, and there's a portal to another planet where corpses are being used as slaves that the tall man has. And I guess they shove the dead bodies in the barrels. Is that what you got from that too?
I guess so. I'm thinking so.
He like he shrinks the bodies in barrels, I guess.
I guess. And then he uses them. He shrinks them down. The midgets. He shrinks people down in general so they can walk through this tiny ass portal he has in there.
Yeah, what do the midgets do? Like
They
the midgets
transport
just
stuff through a portal. That's what they do.
yeah, bro. They're transporting the barrels that the bodies are in, so they're just
Yeah, that's all they do. Yeah.
His only export is just other midgets.
So yes, exactly.
They don't do anything.
Exactly. His only export is other midgets, so he can make more midgets. You understand what this movie is, dog?
They don't
This
do
movie is
anything.
about a tall man. This is basically Willy Wonka. This movie is about a tall man, right, who has a bunch of minions, and they make other minions, and they put them through a portal.
But they can't go out in public because they're minions. So
Yeah,
they just
so that's why they
you
wear
know,
cloaks.
they just operate amongst themselves, but don't make anything except other minions.
That's why they make cloaks. They wear cloaks like Jawas.
Yeah, you're right,
People
bro.
don't
This
see
is just
'em.
Despicable Me.
This is Despicable Me. This
So,
is Despicable Me, dude. That's what this
the
movie
power-
is.
The power goes out and they all get split up. Somehow they just all disappear into other sides of the map. I don't know why I said map. I guess the
That's how it is.
cemetery.
I guess this is a video game playing area.
Yeah, all the fucking Jawas are NPCs.
Basic. This movie's
So if I
ridiculous. Might as well
so
be.
so Reggie is still in the portal room, right? And then Mike goes to the woods. Then where did Jody go?
I don't fucking. Jody was in the woods too, right? He was. It was all weird. They both kept yelling, and there was a bunch of wind, so you really couldn't tell where either one of them really were.
Yeah, and then Reggie goes out. Reggie walks out and sees the blonde girl, and then gets stabbed by her and dies. So
I mean, don't
that's
forget
it. That's
Reggie
it.
when he was in that portal room. He was literally just playing with the portal. He was just like, "Ooh, who's like, oh, this reminds me of when I was making music earlier, and put my finger on the thing, and it stopped making noise. So maybe if I put my hands on it, it'll stop making noise too."
Oh, it's so shiny, and it just gets fucking blasted.
Remember that shit? He had the tuning fork,
Yeah.
and he remembered the tuning
Yeah.
fork, and I'm like, really? That's not gonna work. I was thinking in my that's not gonna work, bitch. You just saw this as a portal. What are you doing?
Hey, man, music can fix everything.
And then he just walked outside and got stabbed. And then I guess he wasn't really dead though.
Yeah, so fast forward. This scene doesn't really matter. They just all get split up and shit happens. But somehow, Jody and Mike managed to go back to their house, and then they're like, "All right, we gotta lure this tall man to this mine or whatever." And so they go back all the way back to the cemetery, right? And they lure the tall man away, and they lure him, through the woods or whatever, and make him fall in this mine shaft that's apparently 1,000 feet deep, and then throw a boulder on his head so he stays in there.
Jesus.
And then Mike and Jody are like, "Yeah, mission accomplished. Yeah, we killed him."
And in the sequel, he is risen.
Yeah, somehow, yeah. Well, he has fucking super strength, so why couldn't he just pick up the boulder?
This you have to extend.
Well, no, he wait. Well, I guess the mine shaft is 1,000 feet deep, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he can.
But he can do anything.
He can
He
do
can
anything
teleport.
though. He gets telekinesis. He could force push it out.
But then, as soon as they do that, bam! Mike wakes up. It was all a dream. I mean, that's what I got from it. Is that it was all a dream? Because I mean, you know, he said when he went back with Reggie, like, "Oh, I was having nightmares," you know.
I originally think that that's what this movie was that was what they were going for at first, but then like it totally like throws that away when he gets grabbed in the room.
But I mean, that was
It's almost
that's
like it
just horror
didn't-
schlock.
I know, but it's like when you do that, and then there's four. It's like
That's
then
like-
what
that's
it
like-
throws into question everything that they were trying to do.
That's like in the end of Friday the 13th, where Jason comes out the water and grabs her. You know,
That
like
makes
it's just,
more
it's
sense.
one
though.
last jump scare.
That makes more sense though to the plot of that movie though.
I mean, I guess so, but
You know what I
it's
mean?
just-
Like, because it
it's
being
one of
like the whole movie was about a kid drowned and you never saw the kid until the end. It makes a little bit more sense. It gets a little bit screwy when you start talking about the second one, and now he's like a grown ass man. Like, I don't know how the fuck
Yeah.
that happened
he's zombie aging.
within the time
Yes.
frame. Well, he's not a zombie yet. Don't get me going. He ain't a zombie yet.
God damn it! All right, we got to do Friday the 13th one
Yes,
of these
we
days.
do. Yes, we do. We do
The
need
whole
to.
series. We'll do a whole series.
Jesus Christ. We're gonna be doing that forever, dude. You know how many movies until we get to Jason X? Fuck me, Jason X. That movie's fucking.
Maybe we should do
terrible.
maybe we should do like two at a time or something.
Maybe I've already seen I haven't even seen all of them. If I'm honest with you, there's some
I've
in
got all-
between. Like I have all of them too.
I've got-
I have them in a collection.
I've got all 8, so I mean, I can watch all of them, but
I can too. I haven't. I think I've seen the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, and then whenever the New York one in the mix of all of that, I've seen that one too.
I've seen Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason 2, and the first one.
So you've seen a lot of the. You haven't even seen the good one. You haven't even
Yeah,
seen the
no,
best
I've-
one. The best one's the
I
third
skipped
one.
the-
You
I
crazy
skipped-
man.
I skipped all the best ones.
The third one's the best one, in my
I
opinion.
remember the first one I ever watched was the Jason Goes to Hell one, where Jason wasn't even in it.
Yeah, he's not even in that one.
Yeah, and I was
Fuck
like,
is that about?
What? You just get shredded by these cops, and then that's it.
Yeah, and then he's like possessing people. His spirit.
Yeah, and they're just
That
eating,
movie was
eating
technically
hearts.
a ghost movie.
Yeah.
And then there
But,
was there was another one where it wasn't even really Jason. It was like a Jason copycat killer.
Which one?
I don't remember
Jason
which one
Lives?
that was, but it was like the kills in that movie were fantastic, but it just everybody was pissed off that it wasn't really Jason.
Sounds
I
like a
can't
movie
remember
we
which
just
one
did.
that was. It had fucking Frankie. I think who the fuck was in that movie? There's like some like really famous, not Frankie Muniz. I was almost said Frankie Muniz. there's like an actor that's like really famous that was in those movies.
Malcolm in the Middle, Friday the 13th crossover.
Hold up, I'm looking it up on my phone.
Fucking Jason starts coming at Malcolm. He just pauses, looks at the camera. This is awkward.
Awkward.
But yeah, I mean that's back to what the fuck is this movie even called? Phantasm. Yeah, that's what I got from this movie is that it was all a dream, and then the very end was like, or was it? Like all the shit he saw could be real, but what actually happened wasn't real, basically. Because there's no way that Reggie could still be alive, and that Jody could be dead. You know.
No, like it's
I
these.
thought at first I thought it was like a time skip, like a month time skip or something. Because at first they say Jody died in a car wreck. So I was like, okay, that's just a weird time skip or whatever. And then I'm like, wait, but how is Reggie here?
Okay, but like okay, one of the Friday the 13th movies. Sorry to go back to that. Corey Feldman was in it. It was the
Wait, are
new
you for real?
beginning, and Corey Feldman was like a little kid in this movie. And
Okay, I
like
gotta look
the
this up now.
movie ended with Corey Feldman and Jason having like a final standoff where like he was like beating him with like Home Alone shit.
Oh, it's the final chapter.
It was the new beginning.
Is it the new beginning?
It's the one before final chapter. It's called the
Bro,
new
Corey
beginning.
Corey Feldman's in the final chapter too.
Oh, he's in both. Okay, well then I guess I'm thinking of final chapter then, because he was a little kid and yeah, in that one, the little kid in this one. Sorry, I didn't know he was in the sequel to that either. But yeah,
But
like weird.
anyway,
Corey Feldman was in that movie. Sorry, I had to say
anyway,
that.
so yeah, final thoughts about this movie. What did you think about it?
Personally, I like this movie a lot until that got to the point. I thought the whole like midget alien thing, it being a dream to me doesn't make it still not dumb. The whole midget Jawa things. And I feel like
Yeah,
this
that
movie
was
would have been a lot better if they would have leaned more on the tall man and less on the minions. Because I could have forgiven what the minions were and what the fuck they were doing, because that was ultimately stupid. I could forgive that if the tall man was in the movie more, but he's not. It's more minion
yeah,
shit than it is tall man shit, and that kind of bothers me. That's one thing
yeah,
that bothered me about this movie. But everything else, like the fucking music, the atmosphere, the setting, everything that you could say about the movie other than like the twist, I would say I loved about this movie.
yeah. I agree. I wasn't really a fan of the Jawas either. Like as soon as they came on screen, I kind of just glazed my eyes because like, all right, come on, let's
Immediately
get
went,
this
all
over
right,
with.
cool. Let's get. It's
I just
gonna
I
be what it.
wanted I want. Yeah, I'm with you. I wanted to see more Tall Man. I didn't care for his little minions or whatever.
And I hope
But yeah,
they
the
correct
main
that in the sequels. I actually will at some point probably watch this, at least the second one, just to
I
see
might
where
watch.
they
Yeah, I
go
might
with
watch
it.
the second one.
Just
I
to
don't know
see
if I'm
where
gonna
they
watch
go
any of
with
the other
it.
ones.
Probably not. They're always going to get dumb. I mean, for all we know, the fourth one's in space.
Apparently, the fifth one was released like just a couple years ago,
What the fuck?
with Reggie as the main character with a shotgun.
Still got a shotgun. Yeah.
But I think Mike isn't in the second one. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really know if I want to do an episode on the second one though.
We probably won't.
Might not be
We
much to
probably
say about
won't.
it.
It's not, we don't really probably need to do two Phantasm fucking episodes.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
crazy.
the main takeaway from this movie to me is just the theme of just non-linearity and the music, of course. I
To
think this might be
me,
one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a minute from a movie.
yeah, for real.
Like
Especially
it's up
from
there.
this era.
It's up there with Zombie, the Lucio Fulci Zombie. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have seen that movie.
Yeah, I think the soundtrack is up there with that. It's really fucking good. All right, what do you give a rating on this movie?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
6 out of 10.
I
What?
would give it a 6 out of 10, and that's just because the twist, dude. The twist just fucking
Yeah,
like for me. If you don't get your twist right, it takes a lot of points away. Because
six out of
the lead up is to nothing basically, is what it is.
a 6 out of 10. What though?
Oh, 6 out of 10 alien fingers.
I think I liked it a little bit more than you. I think it's just a fun to watch. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 alien midgets.
Alien midgets. I love that.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
I would have to say this one's definitely, if you're a fan of like classic horror movies, this is a must watch. I think you should definitely watch it at some point, just because it is
Yeah.
a cult classic and where it stands like in horror movies, and you can tell it's got a lot of inspiration. Like people taking a lot of inspiration from this movie.
Yeah. Especially if you're a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, you'll definitely like this movie.
Definitely.
It's a must watch for that and a must watch for the music as well.
And if you also like horror sci-fi films, because this movie's got a
Yeah.
lot of horror sci-fi vibes.
See, it's classified as a horror sci-fi, but other than the alien stuff, I don't really see much of it.
You don't. I would see the music.
Eh,
You say it's always really it's like rocky. Horror
it's
sci-fi movies always have lots of like rock music with cymbals and shit like that, bells,
it just
especially
seems
from
more
this
of like
era.
it just seems more of like a paranormal type movie to me. I guess I don't know.
You know,
Especially the stuff with the zombies. Like,
the fact that you said
I wouldn't.
paranormal. I thought he was a fucking warlock most of the goddamn movie. I can't stress that enough. I thought this was a warlock movie for the longest. And as it went on, that like obviously left my mind, but like
Yeah,
like I felt like it was almost would have been better if it was a warlock movie and he wasn't a fucking alien.
yeah. No,
I
I
felt
kind
like
of
the
thought it
alien
was
aspect
like,
that was kind of dumb, a little bit,
yeah, like it didn't really start feeling sci-fi to me until they went into that closet with the
Yeah.
portal
which was weird.
with the all white room that looks straight out of Resident Evil.
I was like,
Yeah, like it was really cool, but that's the only part where it felt really sci-fi to me.
definitely, that was the only part of it that was really sci-fi.
Yeah, but yeah. Other than that, that's Phantasm, 1979, pretty good movie. Jalen, anything you got to say before we get out of here?
I would say definitely go and watch this one. It's not a bad movie. It's a pretty good movie.
Yes, yes, and make sure to drink your water, people. Gotta stay hydrated out there. It's getting
All
getting
right.
chilly. All right, see you later, bro.
Later, bro.